Namaskar, Sawadee. Hello everyone. I welcome you all to a special episode, a special session of special event of Technobiz virtual event series on women leadership. And we're having a women leadership in rubber industry, the journey. Like I would like to say this is a special event and for me, it connects to the heart. And I'm happy to host today our first guest for this woman innovated leader, Mrs. Mansi Udeshi Upreti. She's the managing director of the National Rubber Engineers India. So in this session, we will have a conversation with her, candid conversation with her about her journey, her lessons, her experiences, achievements, challenges. We call everything, with reference to her journey in the rubber industry. Before I invite her to join this session today, let me quickly introduce to you about Technobiz. I also encourage you that this session is open session kind of conversation. So if you have like to ask some questions to Mansi, please post questions in the question box as well. So I will put them into my conversation. Let's get into a little bit about Technobiz. I think some of you are new to Technobiz. I don't know what I'm doing. And also some updates for the people that already know. Technobiz is based in Thailand, established in 2005, and it is recognized as International Resource Center for Polymer Industries and Process Technologies. We cover areas into the industry and technology focus on the plastics, rubber, polyurethane, adhesive coatings, and also on the energy, environment, and advanced technologies like 3D printing, smart manufacturing, etc. Our emphasis has always been education. Today's session is also a mini MBA class, about women leadership. So it's like and we have sessions every activity that is always connected to education, information. So we have a lot of activities on professional education, training, conferences, business service like exhibitions, virtual events like today, road shows, networking events. We do also factory and process audits, and we do quite a lot on the marketing and branding service. So you can check our website technobiz.org for more information. So let me give you a quick intro to the more activities related to rubber industry. One of our flagship event is a GRTE. It's a Global Rubber Latex and Tire Expo, which we host once in 2 years. It's a jointly organized Technobiz and China United Rubber Corporation. We are hosting the next year in March, 12 to 14 March in Bangkok. I invite you all to participate in it. This is basically recognized as the gateway to global markets and a knowledge shop for the rubber and tire industry. And we also have a Middle East event, Middle East Rubber and Tire Expo, MRTE, which is scheduled next year in the 17th to 19th June in Sharjah, near to Dubai. And as a part of our events, we also focus on the specific country segments of the rubber industry as well. At the GRT and MRTE, we have India Rubber Exports Trade Fair as well. So companies who are interested to export from India, they could participate in this trade fair. And we have ASEAN Rubber Exports Trade Fair as well from the countries, 10 countries from Southeast Asian countries. We have a natural rubber trade fair that's also as part of the GRT and MRTE. And we have research fair as well. We focus a lot on the research promotions, innovations, because the research is a backbone of industry growth. So we emphasize to promoting the research developments across the world. We do have a tire manufacturing conference at the GRT, 12 to 13 March. And we also have a specific to Thai companies, Thai rubber industry people, Thailand Rubber Conference. Because we are based in Thailand, we emphasize on Thailand industry as well. And we have a rubber and tire market conference in March, focusing on the markets, supply and demand issues about it. If you are visiting our expo, GRT or MRT, please to try to collect a copy of our rubber handbook, which we distributed at expo. We are hosting a rubber innovation forum in Kolkata this year in August 28 to 29. This is going to be a very special event as well, focusing on innovations only. We have 40 plus experts, researchers, industry specialists come to this event. They talk about what are the latest developments in the rubber technology and science. I invite you all to participate in this event. We are hosting a rubber week as well in Sri Lanka. We had just finished in Bangkok in April. We're scheduled to host in in Colombo, in Sri Lanka, about Rubber Week. It has a conference and training programs there. We have a latex conference, which is just focused on the latex industry, which is scheduled in 2026. So, and along all the events, we also offer the diploma programs. Executive Diploma 360 degrees. Why do we call it 360 degrees? Means we cover both the technical aspects as well as the management aspects. In this Executive Diploma program, we cover with the rubber industry technology and management. We have the time length is 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And we have a rubber compound technology and management time length 2, 4, 8. It's up to you the time availability you can finish. This is a completely online program. Okay? And as I mentioned, this is a unique and a universal online program. Whether you're any part of the world, you can join this program. You can start in it any day that day you want to join. Okay? And focused on the company and the participant. It's a customized for each participant. It is not one program for everyone. It's a program for each. It is customized for the company is sponsoring and the person who is joining. And there you have to have the projects of the 100 plus good practices for rubber industry. There are a lot of conversation with the business leaders and the unconventional business assessment tests. You can join this program without affecting your daily work. That's how it is designed. If you're interested, contact me on this. Of course, TechNub is one of the unique organizations which publish the books. We still publish the books, rough reference books for the rubber and latex industry. We just released a compression molding of rubber. It's a new. And there's some of our best sellers, rubber molding principles, cost reduction. And currently, we're working on the latex handbook, which will be released next month. We'll be having many more books as well in the near future. In our store, we have 50 plus rubber books available. If you're interested, check our website, store.technoviz.org. We also produce marketing publications to promote the companies, the directories, right? Based on the country, based on the technology, and so you can check out. It's releasing in 2025. If anybody interested to promote their business through our directories, please contact me. And virtual events is one of our regular activities. We have a rubber industry tech talk, we have a latex industry tech talk, and the first episode of today is the women leadership in rubber industry. It's the journey. These are the virtual events related to the rubber industries. We have a library, rubber industry digital library, which has. We also have a digital marketing service for the rubber industry. R plus. We have different packages: 365 days, 90, 30 days, and email marketing as well. So that's briefly about the what's all about TechnoBiz, what activities. If you need more information, you can always contact me. This is my email address and WhatsApp number. So send a message to me, and I'm happy to assist you. I can't explain too long on this here. Okay, it's about women leadership in rubber industry, the journey. And our invited guest is Mrs. Mansi Udeshi Upreti. She's a managing director of the National Rubber Engineers, based in India. I actually plan to have this series with 100 plus wonderful women in the rubber industry who will contribute in the growth and sustainability of the rubber industry. So our first guest today is Mrs. Mansi Udeshi Upreti. Before I invite her, I wanted to show you her company videos to understand what is a National Rubber Engineers, shortly called NRE. Okay, so let's look at the video first before we invite her to have a conversation with her. It's a nice video. Good to know about the NRE, National Rubber Engineers, managed by Mansi. So join me to welcome Mansi Udeshi, Upreti, Managing Director of the National Rubber Engineers. Mansi, please join us.
Good evening, Param, and good evening, everybody.
First of all, thank you very much, Mansi, for joining, accepting invitation to be part of my first guest of this women leadership in rubber industry.
It has been absolutely a big honor for me.
Okay, great. It's really nice to have you as a first guest, and let's get started. As I mentioned to you in the introduction, it is a candid conversation. Okay, and it's a conversation, not an interview, I would say. Okay. Is it all right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. We have seen a nice video about the NRE, National Rubber Engineers. You can see that you're doing wonderful work, and I like the last picture with all the women in the front and the guys. It's a nice group picture there, right?
Thank you so much.
Mansi, I'm going with the name with the Mansi. Is all right with you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, super. Before we get into the details, I always like to start with parents. Talk about your parents. I believe that everybody has a big influence by the parents and their journey, their way of thinking. So let's talk about your father, then you can talk about your mother. And, what kind of people are there, what can influence on you, and it's a hard times or good times or what you learn from them. And so please.
Yes, so I was lucky to be born to a technologist parents. Father being a rubber technologist after doing his BSc, and mother being a plastic technologist, both after doing their BSc, joined technological courses, and then continued their careers in rubber industry and plastic industry respectively. So both were a great influence in my life, and they were all they just started on their own. There was no support for them. So it was completely their baby, along with both of our sisters. National Rubber was their third baby, you could say. And for me, I am not a rubber technologist, but my dad, especially, he gave me hands-on training completely right from the time I was 14 years old. So he was a hard task master, and mother was a very strict mother. So he ensured that 5 years of all my vacations were spent in the factory, getting dark, working in all the departments. No leeway for me being a girl. If you have to come to factory, you have to work in all the departments and go home completely black. So yeah, that was the biggest support for me as what I am today, and the base that he built for me. All the theory books can teach you a lot of theory, but practical is what matters the most when running a factory. So today, I am 30% a rubber technologist only, but 70% rest of it is a completely on-job training that I've got from them. So father was in industry. He started his journey with rubber industry before he started off his own in 1978 with being a small trader, then being a very small manufacturer. And 1983 we came to this place where we are operating from right now. And then he became the proprietor of National Rubber Engineers, started small. 1995, we started to export. And I joined in 1999. When I joined in 1994 as a part-time intern, you can say. And then 1999, after finishing my graduation, I joined full-time. So parents are a big role. They played a big role for our, in my life as far as coming into a rubber industry was concerned. Though it was my dream to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know whether I wanted to be here. But it somehow mechanically I was inclined, though I did not do my science or engineering. But then it was a good experience for me to be with him. And technologically, whatever I learned was on the job. And like few years back, I did my rubber technology courses twice. So now I am a little not as disabled as I was earlier, But yes, on the job training was more important for me.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk a little more about your father. He was a trader, then he started, you said right word, maybe hard task master. Okay. So, and can you talk about, you said you also, your holidays are at the factory. Okay. And so
Yes.
can you talk about his journey at that time, how, things are different at that time and now, right? So what kind of things you observed while he was heading the plant in your childhood times?
So what I observed at that point of time was he did everything on his own.
Hmm.
He was all over the place. He tried to learn everything, right from managing the factory to administration to accounting and everything. So,
Yeah,
and he had the knack of learning and teaching himself new things.
yeah,
So that inspired me. In fact, he didn't put me into a typing institute so that I could type out all the documents that he had to do. But yes, the base he built for me was from that time. And as
okay.
I said, none of the departments were spared. I had at that time, way back in 1995, 96, we had hand molding machines. So
Hmm.
that was completely a male job, so-called male job. But no, not for me, not spared me. I gone home with blisters on my hands, running the presses, and gone home after a big day at mixing mill because that time we didn't have a needle. So, and sitting in one place and doing finishing of 4 to 5 thousand pieces a day. So every department was put in, and then eventually I was very angry. Why is not letting me sit in the office and do things? Or even if I'm sitting in the office, he's like making me type out documents and documents. But today I realize that what he did at that time has helped me a lot to what I am today. So, and today, if I have anybody encounters a problem in the factory and nothing works with them, then I am the last person they will come to, and then I would be the first person to solve that problem. So that is where my experience helps.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And we also would like to talk about your mother. I think you talked briefly about it, and I think she did she involved in this since the beginning of
Yes.
the
So,
NRE? Yeah. Can you talk
not
about her?
beginning of the NRE as a great support to her husband, she was always there. And she being a technologist, polymer technology, rubber plastics is very similar. So, and they had a very great rapport between them. They were both educationally inclined. They were very fond of reading, going to movies, going to theater, and were just enjoying their life generally, even with whatever bare minimum resources they had at their head. So they were a very good team as such, good partners to each other, and they complemented each other much better than I would see any couple. So they were ideal couple for me. And
Fantastic.
our whole house was, we used to talk everything very very freely. We used to learn when things were being discussed. There was no secrecy. So I would say when I was very young, I was exposed to the running of the factory, how industry works, where my father has gone, whom has he met. Then we used to have everyday dinner sessions. So she was very free, and she always encouraged us to do better in life because she herself was a great, I would say, career woman, career oriented woman. And then when she took a VRS from the plastic industry, after almost 25, 26 years of working, then took a break for 2, 3 years, and then she joined National Rubber Engineers, and production was her forte. So complete production, in fact, I would say till the time we lost her in 2011, production was her baby. And she made a lot of changes. She was also responsible for getting ISO 9001 2015 into the company way back in 2005. Then changing a lot of, how we deal with people, or rather how people deal with us, especially the workers. So we have seen a lot, but she was a very strong woman, a very great backbone of National Rubber Engineers, I would say.
So it's dinner talks also usually about NRE mostly, yeah, sometimes, I guess.
NRE, even her office going, she used to leave 7 in the morning and come back 7 in the night.
Yeah,
So it was a long day for her, but she was always available for us and discuss things, never get angry on things that, no, no, I'm tired, I don't want to talk, and things like that. So
yeah,
dinner talks were generally how the day went for all of us. And we were all were into reading a lot of books. So that also was a point of discussion. And things were good basically at home, and we had a lot of freedom. Me and my sister both had a lot of freedom.
Okay. So you talk about sister now. So you mentioned about sister. Now you both are you
Yeah.
working together as at NRE. Talk about
Yes.
your sister also had to work at the factory as well, like you, or what's
Not
that?
as much as me, not as much as
Okay.
me. She joined in quite late, but she had her other freedom that parents gave her to, go into her own choice of things. But apparently, she landed up at NRE after doing her graduation and all. That's a different story. But she was not inclined, I would say. I was more inclined towards running the factory, and she was just inclined to support. And that's what I have from her even today, because losing my father to COVID was a little bit too much for a shock, and it was too sudden for us. But because she was there, it made the journey a little bit more easier without my father being there. So she takes care of the administration completely. Stores administration is completely her baby. Even the website and everything, updating of websites, new products, taking care of the new products. The products, as far as they go on the marketing brochure and everything, is her baby. She stays quite far from the factory, so she comes to the factory twice a week, but rest of the day she works from home. So
So,
it's a hybrid model for her, but she's a great support. That's what
so
matters the most to me.
So you guys discuss each other quite often about challenges and factory kind of buddies or sister say or
No, no,
sister and friend.
because I'm more of a dominant one, but she,
Okay.
but yes, we talk about a lot, you know, about how we can take it further. What we need to do, and as I said, she is the silent one. I am the
Mhm.
dominant one, but then she's always there with her ideas, and she works very hard. She's very good at designing. So whatever designing that you see on the website and all is her doing.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
are more like complementing each other rather than, having our own things to do. We do that, but yes, we complement each other well.
Yeah. I'm sorry to address bring the point again about this COVID. You lost a father during the COVID
Yes.
times. Not only it's along with losing of loved ones, and it's a difficult times for everyone. So can you talk about how did
Yes.
you manage the whole, business and, workers? A lot of issues are there at the time. Yeah. So um, talk about your, I know it's a difficult,
So,
but so share your
but
experience and think
yes,
how you're doing through.
definitely.
Yeah.
So my father was the one who might not have gone if he was a little serious about COVID. We always talk about this. He was a hard task master even till the last day. And morning 8 o'clock at home during COVID, we didn't ask him to come to the factory at all because we were worried about him. So he would sit at home at 8 o'clock in the morning. He would be on his mails, checking his mails, answering to the clients he's comfortable with. And then every morning, once he started our production on 3rd of May, he was like, "Are you going to the factory?" I like, "Please, I have a lot of pressure at home also because my son was very young then. So, no, no, are you going to the factory?" I said, "No." "Okay, will you go tomorrow?" So he was after me, to visit the factory every day, like he would have loved to do it. And maybe he didn't take COVID as seriously as he should have. Unfortunately, first wave, somebody came home, and then uh, maybe just a miss of step that he took, and we lost him, sadly. But uh, we didn't get a time to grieve because it was a proprietorship concern. It still is. We had to move fast because we had a lot of challenges then. We had to move very fast when we had to do a lot of paperwork for our business to run smoothly. The transition had to happen very quickly. We didn't have time. So, but his blessings were, I would say, his blessings were always there, because otherwise, his blessings are more than his blessings, what he did for us. He was a, he was a perfectionist when it came to paperwork. So there was nothing that I could not find that, okay, I have to search for it too much. No, everything was perfectly organized. I had just had to pick up the file where it has a name of that particular thing that I need to sort, and everything was there. And also I was there with him for a long time, but still his organization skills helped me when I had to do that transition. So as I said, he was a great influence, and he still is. Even after he's lost, we have lost him about 4 years back. He still is there. Uh, Apparently tomorrow is his fourth death anniversary. But as I said, it's all a coincidence that he wants me to be here today as a gift to him, that we lost him on 6th, but he can see Mansi being somewhere in 4 years of him going away. I think he would be happy in heaven.
Yeah. It's a tough, yeah. Thanks for sharing, Mansi, in this difficult
Thank
issue.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, let's get into your journey. Okay, but our first question is always, did you? I mean, I'll go in with challenges first. Yeah. What kind of things that you really bad experience, hard times when you're running the business?
So hard times fell upon us in about 2001. It was about 2 years after I joined, 2001 too. So 2 years after I joined, you know, full time. We did experience about 2002, early 2002. We started having some feelers that these people who have worked for us for more than 15, 20 years might do some union baji, is what we call here in India. But my dad was very close to all of them. My dad was, he never thought that something like this would happen. But eventually, mid 2002, things started happening, and these people went to a union leader, and they started giving him all the wrong information, saying that company is not doing this, company has not done this for us, and we need more, and we need a union. And the union came into picture. And my mother, as I said, she was completely handling the production and HR also. So we were all shocked as to how we can, do this, but we didn't know how to go about it in ahead, and we accepted it. But then when it came to their demands, my mother said, "Nothing doing, we are doing enough for them. Let's go and meet the union leader ourselves." So we went, all the three of us, me, my dad, and my mom, and we showed him all the papers as to what we are doing for the workers. And it was shocking for him to see that such a small company doing everything as per the government rules, plus giving them a lot of extra things, even small thing like an LTA, a leave travel allowance, or an umbrella, or 2 uniforms a year, and milk, things like very small things. But when he heard this, the whole thing went against the workers, saying that you are already getting, what more do you want? So then these people got frustrated with the old union leader, and then they went to some political party affiliated unions.
Oh, mm.
So that was till November 2002 was a very difficult period for us. And for my father, because he was very attached to National Rubber Engineers, and we didn't know how to handle them. Then they came in, police came in picture, and everything. Our whole existence and our whole impression to the industry was, because we are in an MIDC area where the industrial area, everybody knows us for so many years.
Right.
Everything was at stake. But luckily for us, our lawyer said, "Don't worry about it. Let us shut down the factory. Let them give them their compensation, and we can always restart." So ultimately, my father agreed to it. One fine night, we just went into the factory, removed whatever we wanted to, close down, and then they all were shocked how this happened. But luckily for us, in 20 days, everything was sorted. We paid them the whatever as per rules, whatever needed to be paid. It was a big amount then, and a lot of savings had to be removed to pay them. And I don't think it must have happened ever in the history of a union where a strike has happened and everything. But we were up and running in 1 month. After paying them, in 5 days, we restarted the factory. So that was hard times. We learned a lot about human behavior. You can say we learned a lot about that. But that was one of the hard times that we had. Recently, another one also did happen, but we have already come out of it and looking forward to But otherwise, overall, NRE has a slow growth, but a steady growth, you would say.
Super, super. Yeah, tough times also make us be more experienced and more thick skin, we call it. We can face any situation we are in,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk more about you were, you mentioned that you are not rubber technologist, but you are in a practice. You got all the experience you need through the experience when hands-on working, right? And so your NRE produces various types of rubber products, and
Yes.
so what is your strength? Which area now, after all these years, in the rubber industry since a childhood now, okay, you could call yourself maybe 30, 40 plus years in the rubber industry,
40
even you were
years.
not, yeah, okay, since
Me
you
personally,
could,
30 years, yes, almost 30 years now.
yes,
1994 to 24, so 30 years now, yes.
30 years rubber industry. So talk about
Yes.
your strengths in terms of skills you personally have. I think I understand that you're also good in the mold design, mold development as well. Yeah, can you
Yes,
talk about it?
yes, yes. So, as I said, I did not go, I was a lazy kid as far as studies were concerned. So, with my dad had dreams of me either put me into science and do my rubber technology course or me into mechanical, but I was not interested in studying so much. So, I did my arts, I graduated with literature, and then I did my diploma in business management for 1 year. But again, as all said and done, my heart was in the factory. So we were already doing a lot of automotive products from say 1980s till 1995. We were doing a lot of automotive products. 1995, we started exports and to Netherlands. And then this company was a trader in Netherlands, and he gave us an exposure to lot of different variety of products, especially in anti-vibration in industrial. So as on today, we have 50% automotive and 50% industrial that we are already doing. Our forte being customized rubber products. You bring me any rubber product as far as molding is concerned, I can design it myself and do it. Anything in my customized. And my second and the largest forte is anti-vibration products. We have developed for the customer more than 1,000 anti-vibration, different kind of anti-vibration products as per custom requirement with different kind of compound applications, compounding according to the applications needed. We have all the in-house testing facilities for anti-vibration. So bonding, compression, tensile, everything is in-house. So we don't have to rely on some other person and then waste the time to give accurate reports. So anti-vibration is something it's very close to me because it had a lot of challenges we had faced initially, but we had good rapport with industry people and they did help us. Especially I would mention Lord India. Lord India people, they're really very helpful for us to, go through that journey of getting rejections to today being less than 1% rejection that we stand
Wow,
at.
very good. Yeah.
So that was really very very helpful to us at that point of time. And today I would vouch for my anti-vibration products. We are one of the best quality products that we can give, and I don't think anybody would be able to challenge that as of now.
Super. Yeah. And talk about your team. Of course, you make good products. You are already have good experience, and talk about your, team, development team, production team, how they are
Yeah.
doing.
So
And
yes, overall we are a team of six, two in administration, one being my sister, she is the biggest of my team, then two in administration and accounts. But as far as the industry, the size of my company, as of now, we have one in the production and one in the quality department. R&D and quality, we both take care together. When if in case of R&D is done, we sit as a team, the production, quality, and myself, and we do everything right from analyzing the product, then designing it, the drawings, then getting quotations. We do it as a team, and we do a lot of discussions. We do a lot of brainstorming as to how the product will be designed, what kind of tool designing will be done. That's where my forte comes in. When I started working, I didn't realize this, but my father realized that when he has some ideas of how the tool should be, I always gave something different which he initially rejected that no, this won't work. But ultimately, when nothing worked and when it went with my design, it did start working the way I wanted it to work in a better way. So then I did realize, but he realized that I'm very good at mold designing. How it should work, the way the production will go, how much better productivity I'll get, how easy it will be to manufacture that product with the design that we do. So I would say that is my personal forte and something of my interest. Mechanical also, he gave me a big handbook of mechanical, the dimensional costing of, rather dimensional handbook of machine. That's what he calls it. It's a big handbook of machines, and that's my Bible, you can say. I refer to it all the time, and I still do my costings based on that book. So mechanically, I'm more inclined, and because of the on-job training, because of what my dad taught me, and maybe a little bit of mine, 30% of my own expertise. But yes, mold design is my forte.
Super. Okay, just you also brought again your father into the conversation. Do you ever
He's
have
always going to be there.
okay, of course, of course. Do you ever have disagreements on certain business aspects of in terms of development or in terms of price quotations? So you do have any disagreements?
No, I would. We used to have some disagreements on, as I said, mold design, how the product will be produced, how the manufacturing will do, the productivity and all. But initially, then he realized that my way works better than his way. So he gave me a free hand, and that is where it helped. There was no ego in him saying, no, this is my factory. I will say, and this is it will work like this. So he gave me a free hand. And another disagreement which I felt initially, that the costings are the way he's doing costing is not what I agree on. But then I realized that his way is better. His way is getting me more profits than my way. So disagreements were always there, but then ultimately we came to a middle ground where I let him do his thing and he let me do my thing.
Yeah, super. Okay, let's talk a little bit on the milestones under your leadership. What you think, in this 30 years of journey, if you point out certain milestones for the NRE, what did you talk about? What kind of things that you really highlight about yourself for the NRE?
So National Rubber Engineers started, as I said, as a trading company. So first milestone came in when he got a very good exporter, merchant exporter customer, I think in about 1986. He was already into business for about 8 years now. And then somebody put him through this particular customer of mine, and he's still my customer right from 1986 till today. But that was the biggest milestone where we started developing a lot of products. And I will give you a small thing about snippet about what my dad was. He made all his drawings then by hand. Okay,
Hmm.
so we normally did a lot of automotive bushes and gaskets and O-rings. And we still have the diary, which is right from 1986 till today, till the time
Wow.
he was there. So we then obviously shifted to CDR and drawings and Photoshop and everything. But the diary, I still have kept the diary the way it was. It was a small diary, and all the drawings by hand, all the specifications what customer wanted was written down. We still have those products which are running even today. And anything that we want to go back, I refer to that Bible of his, because that helped us. I could see how much he gave the importance to writing down everything. I am 50% there, not completely, but he used to write down everything. Everything full. His diaries were full. His drawings were there. Very basic thing, but then all the details were there. That helped us. So that was the
Yeah.
biggest milestone we had in 1986. The second milestone came when he thought that he wants to start into export business. And then the first customer of exports, he came from Netherlands. And he was a trader who was starting trading business in Netherlands, and he was looking for suppliers in India, China, Taiwan, Vietnam. And he narrated this incident once we met him twice or thrice. And he said that I had written to people through embassy, And a lot of people did come to me saying, oh, we are this big, we can supply this quantities and you try us and all. You are the only person who said we are also starting very small, but we are very sure of our quality. So if given a chance, we'll be a good supplier to you. And that's what attracted him to my father's style, of writing. And that's how we were in business together right from 1995 to 2019 till he closed down his business. But yes, that was the second milestone, I would say, which it continues well today. We do about 70% of exports and 30% of Indian market,
Wow.
domestic markets. So that was good for us. Good beginning, and then we continued. We then got our Japanese customer, Australian customer, USA customer. USA customer again on milestone in 2001, where he found us. He is a person of Indian origin, settled in US for a long time, and he is a person who is the second largest trader of sports car products for sports car and aftermarket products for sports cars. And we started building up a good relationship with him. So turnover wise, I would not say it is very huge, but product wise, we have developed about more than 500 products for him, just for his company. Especially engine mounts and everything is a big challenge, because one failed mount and the engine costs $20,000, which will be paid by us. So I can say that we are confident, assured that things have not gone the wrong way till now. But so these were few milestones. As I said, 2001 again we had union and everything, but that was a changing point, the turning point of our life, where we think, when my mom said nothing doing, no giving these workers anything extra other than what government asked us to give, and we are running well today also, touch wood.
Yeah, super. As you mentioned, your 70% is export and 30% domestic market. When your company is an export-oriented company, quality is no compromise, right? And can you talk about your vision on the quality aspects of products? How do you manage? Because you are not producing by yourself only. You had to deal with your staff, your workers, your engineers. Yeah.
So I would say, quality starts from beginning, is what my father believed in. So he was very particular about the smallest aspect of the product. When it comes out, there should not be when it goes out of the factory, not even a single extra piece of flash should be there on the product. Very, very focused he was on quality. But just being focused on the quality and the customer giving feedback was not enough, is what we thought. 4 years into the exporting to USA. We are already 10 years into exporting. So way back in 2003, we decided that we need a quality certification. So we went in for ISO 9001, then 2005, and we got certified for ISO 9001 way back in 2005. And that was a big, big change for us, because then computers were still not used and hard copies were the in thing. But yes, we are very proud to say that the quality management system of ISO is deeply rooted into the factory. We don't just do it for the certificate, but we do it as a system. Right from top to bottom, everything is traced. We can easily trace a product. If any problem comes in, the traceability is very clear. The path is clear. So that's how all our workers, the team, everybody is, in that whole system. Not one person will be out of the system doing things differently. They all know what they have to do. And then when we were self-certifying our products for REACH compliance, initially when REACH came in, and we were doing a lot of export to Europe. But in about 6 years back, 2018-19, we were said that you will have to have a certificate of your own. The company will have to get certified. So we went for REACH certification. Along with that, we have a product for safety, which is also having a CE marking. So simultaneously, we went for REACH and CE marking together. So one of the smaller companies that is REACH compliant, and we also use REACH for compliant products, not only for European customers, it is throughout all the products. We use only REACH compliant products, where zinc oxide, oils, and even certain other products where it is necessary, we only use REACH compliant products. We get ourselves tested, audited every year for REACH compliance, and every year as we get audited for ISO, we do get audited for each also.
Can you talk about a little bit on the challenges and situations that you feel that it's challenging when you're exporting to the particularly developed countries like Europe or US? What are things that that you find it challenging?
So right now in Europe, we are not supplying to a OEM. Okay, what we supply is to aftermarket, but my customer will supply to a industrial OEM where the machines are being made and my products are directly being installed on the machine.
Mhm.
But their challenges were two things. The product has to be REACH compliant and the product has to meet all the quality standards. So when we in way back in 2014, about 10 years back, we had our own, we did have a UTM then also from some other company, but then we bought the latest UTM that was available in 2014. So all the products that are manufactured are going through strict, I would say, very stringent quality checks, right from the incoming to the in process to the production. So challenges are there, but they are met up, with. So once in case if we encounter a problem, we see to it that next time that problem is not there, and we see to it that the customer is not unhappy about it. If there is a genuine problem, we'll say to them that this is a genuine problem and we will sort it out for you. But as of now, I wouldn't remember any incident, untoward incident in a National Rubber Engineers journey that we had a big lot of rejection and we have had the whole shipment coming in. Nothing like that. The rest all statutory and regulatory you can say like fumigation and small things. And we also we try and do insurance shipment, that is CIF, because I have seen that many customers don't insure their cargo. And my client did not insure his cargo. He was FOB and he lost it. There was a fire on the ship and he lost the cargo. So that's a learning thing for us also. And we have changed our shipment terms to majorly 80% we do CIF. So the insurance and the cost and freight, though it's huge, but it is to our account. So these are small challenges are always there. USA challenges is these people sometimes they don't understand that there can be some small change and things can be done in a different way. But yes, they're completely different exposure, completely different industry that we are dealing with. Same with Japan. Japan is like Germany. They are very, very particular about quality, but we have been able to give good products and we are still supplying to them right from 1990, I would say 1998 till today. The same customers. So challenges are always there, but they are nothing that we cannot meet them. We can come to a solution all the time.
So you give the priority to the quality and also be transparent to them so that if there is an issue to explain. Yeah.
Yeah, our vision, we have always kept our vision very clear, be transparent, and we try and give precision products, durable products, and reliable supplier. That's what we want to be. That's our vision, which we have always communicated to the customer also. And we expect the same from them.
Okay, we talked about customers. Now talk about our supply chain. Can you talk about how you manage your supply chain? What kind of interaction with your suppliers, whether it's chemicals or whether it is materials?
Yeah, mostly all are 40-year-old plus, right from the beginning. We are proud. I would proudly say, my father used to say that proudly, I would still continue to say it proudly. We don't change the supplier until and unless there is a major quality problem or a major price difference that I see. Okay, the quality might be good, but if something doesn't suit me as the price, which is like 8 to 10 rupees a kg, if I'm finding the price difference, obviously. But for that 1 rupee and 50 paise, we never change our supplier. And we have suppliers who are as old as us, 35, 40-year-old, and even some manufacturers, original manufacturer suppliers, we don't change. So for example, everybody who might be listening to me now or later, they would know that we only buy chemicals from Nosil. Many people would know this. We only buy, even smallest chemical like stearic acid, only Godrej. So we are very particular about what we want, and we have maintained that right from beginning. even if we have to change due to any reason, maybe supply issues, maybe they are not able to supply on time, then it would be an equivalent product, but nothing that we would change because we have got a lower price and no off spec material. And second thing, we maintain our inventory very tightly. So we have something called minimum order quantity. So when the level goes down, indent is automatically made and sent to me. I do the raw material and metal purchase myself because this is something I believe. I've learned from a bigger person in this industry that these things are maintained by the owner himself, if possible, then lot of things can go good for the company. So I took it over from my dad about 20 years back, the purchase thing, and I still do it. I would rather want to continue doing it till the time I am there. So yes, purchase is something I am very keen on, but then I don't change suppliers just because I feel that I'm getting a 50% less per kg here. No, and I think we are called the ATM in the industry because our payment terms have been very good with
Yeah.
everybody. So nowhere where if there is no money coming in from anywhere, the National Rubber will always be on time.
By the way, do you produce your own compounds or do you also outsource
Yes,
it?
yes. No, no. We produce 95% of the compounds. 5% is outsourced, wherein we don't do synthetic rubbers like FKM, silicone, colored products, colored compounds. We source it out for two things. Colored compounds we don't do at our end, so we source it out. Secondly, FKM Viton or FKM silicone is what we source out because the quantities might be too small for me to produce at my end, because ultimately if I have to produce a 5 or 10 kg compound, then I need to buy a 25 kg bag and then relevant raw materials. So this is something we outsource. Again, as I said, from only people that we know well, who I know will give a good product. But 95% of the compounds are in-house. We have more than about 5 to 600 recipes already in the system for all kind of hardnesses, for all kind of rubbers. Natural rubber being the highest because we do a lot of anti-vibration.
And our tools, do you make your own tools or the
We make
molds?
all our tools. We don't make it in-house. We get it made through
This, yeah.
tool maker. But as I said, all the tools are our property.
Mm,
Nothing remains anywhere else. The tool
mm.
maker, we pay him for the tools, and they are our property till the time the customer pays for it. It becomes his property, but in our possession for the time that we are running that for.
So let's get into the general issues about rubber industry. And the first point I want to put is that, whether you accept or not, rubber industry is a male dominant, right? Okay. Where you see very few women entrepreneurs, women leaders. Okay. That's why I
Yes.
have this series. Okay.
Yes.
And so that we can learn from you. And how do you feel about being a woman leader?
I was lucky one. I cannot talk about others, but being in Mumbai, coming in touch with so many people at All India Rubber when I was working there for a small stint of about 5-7 years, and I came across very good people, I would say. See, different thing where there is internal issues are a different thing, but today they are the same people who have helped me when I needed them the most. Everybody, I would say, whom I've come through, and that particular people never pushed me down. They helped me become the face. Okay, my dad was the face of NRE till then, but when he took a backseat from the association activities and I started coming in, one name I would rather thank Mr. Mehul Patel, who pushed my dad to try and start sending me to association, and then a lot of other names, but typically 5-6 names that I would thank deeply would be Mr. Neeraj Thakkar, Ketan Shah, Mr. Kiran Patel, Sachin Chandak. They all were there. Mr. Ashit Lakia was my chairperson. I was very lucky to be under him. And then a lot of them, like interactions with Manu Uncle and Yogen Bhai and all, it really may help me develop as a person. So I wouldn't say rubber industry women are ever pushed back. They are always entered, they are always encouraged to do better, be at a par with them, and Indian rubber industry, I'll vouch for everybody. I haven't seen any woman groaning about saying, oh, this is how we don't get treated well. We are treated at par with them, given equal respect, and never had any challenges. see, difference of opinions are always there, but
That's
no
all.
challenges as such where we are not given equal, given maybe sometime more. I would say as a woman, we get even more respect than average male of the rubber industry would get, and respect and lot of teachings. You know what we
Yeah.
could learn from the industry then was much more than we would not ever learn in a book from a book. I would say.
Hmm.
So I'm glad to be where I am. I think rubber industry in India is the best, I would say.
Super, super. So your involvement with the AIRA helped a lot, I guess so. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I was lucky to be under great team. We did a lot of national rubber conferences together in Mumbai. We
Right.
also did one IRE, and I was a small part of it. But that helped me, grow as a person, grow as an entrepreneur, and learn so much. Meet so many people who
Yeah.
today also, at least they know me.
Right.
That this is Mansi, and everybody will remember me. I think you also would agree.
Of course. Of course. Yes. Of course. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about your team. How many of women members in your factory working now,
So
including
me and my
everybody?
sister, so administration department, we are three of us, right from me and then management. And then from the basic worker department, we have eight of them in the
Okay.
worker department. So out of 22 total, we have eight. And complete finishing and packing department is a woman oriented department completely. So yes, we have to always look into the fact that they have responsibilities at home and they might not be able to work 12 hours, but 8 hours and 10 hours duty where they can give. They are the backbone of getting a perfect product out of the factory, I would say. Because we have a woman always doing a great quality check. The woman who finishes the product, right from when it comes from molding department, perfectly finished product. They know that Mansi will not tolerate the unfinished product. So they are very, so that eight-member team other than we three. So out of 27 of us total, we are 11 of us who are women. And proud fact that yes, I would want somebody to, go ahead and be in the molding department too. Extrusion would have been a little easier for them, but once I start with the smaller automatic machines, I will definitely put them in, where they won't have to do too much of a high labor work.
And how do you inspire them? When they are down, it's hard work, right? So how you keep them inspired doing their work?
So inspiration is always there, but we are more like family. So we celebrate birthdays together. We have a system of celebrating one day, 15th of every month is a birthday day. So whoever has the birthdays in that month, we order
Okay.
cake or we order sandwiches and we just sit together, celebrate, talk about how life is. That 1 hour once a month is for all of us to interact. So it's not that we are not connected to each other. I would prefer that we remain connected so they can come to me easily with their problems. And they do come, they have a lot of them. Personally, I would say it's not an easy thing to survive in Mumbai. So we do give a lot of support to them as far as possible. They give them small training programs, updation on their particular work, even in all other departments. Where ISO is concerned, now we are already, we'll be certified for IITF by in next 2 months. So, we are just regularly training them, plus training them on personal grounds how to save their money. Because money is something that they don't understand the word saving. They save it in a different way and then they lose a lot of money on it. So we do a lot of training programs and we do a lot of communication with them. So it's a small, nice family. We celebrate together. We have a lot of festivals we celebrate together. They come with a lot of enthusiasm, and it's a happy family, I would say.
Yeah. So it's all family affair then. It's not just workers,
Absolutely,
but
absolutely, yes. No, they are family. They were always family, right from dad, my mom, me, my sister. We all consider them family. We celebrate everything together with them. They would celebrate with us. So we know about them. We know what is going in their life. Because ultimately, if they are not doing well in their life, somewhere it will affect the work that they are doing for us. So we have to keep them, we have to see whether that they are okay in their life too, not only when they come to the factory. So we try and do that. Some kind of communication, open channel is always there. So they are free to come into my room, except that they are free to ask the manager that I have some work with ma'am, and they will call me and ask whether I am free. That's it. But they are always free to walk into my room and talk to me about any problem that they face.
Sure.
That that
Fantastic.
that level of hierarchy we have kept, but without any doors and open doors and windows. It's not that
Super.
we are closed. So we
Yeah.
try to bring some happiness into their lives also.
Yeah. Okay. Let's look into your life, personal life, a little bit. Okay. You know, you have one son, 10 years old. Okay.
Yes.
You have a business to run. You are also a hard taskmaster. Okay, I'm sure that you all, I believe you like to have a social life, going for functions and things
I
like
love
that,
it.
and you, of course, you have your own self goals, right? Self growth. How do you balance all this? You have a business, you have stress there, you have shipments to go, the production issues, one technical, non-technical, and you have a son with 10 years old, still growing, and of course, your attention is required, right? And family functions and things like that. Oh, so many things at one time. Like sometimes it comes all at one time, right?
It
So
does, it
talk.
does. But yeah, my family has been my biggest support. I
Yeah.
would say my in-laws are my biggest support. They have never stopped me to do anything in life. My
Hmm.
husband is always there, and he had chosen me, I had chosen him. He had no option not to say anything or say no to anything, I would say. But that's a different relationship. But with in-laws, it is not always very smooth sailing. But for
Yeah.
me, with my in-laws, they have been my biggest support, I would say. Because
Hmm.
of them, I could be out at any time of the hour, any hour. I still remember from during IRE and NRC days, I used to reach home at 1:32 in the night.
Ooh.
And
Hmm.
no questions asked why you are not at home, where you went, whom with, no question. They trusted me fully, and that helped me a lot to build myself today what I am. My son is again very, very supportive. He grew up without me being there in the daytime, but yes, I was always there for him. I still am there for him. But he again had a good support and good rapport with my in-laws, so he could manage well. In fact, now comes a time when he said, "You're not going to office," because then he wants to have his own time. But he is one. And then last but not the least, my husband.
Hmm.
He himself is an entrepreneur in his own right.
Okay.
We do each other together. We do a lot of things for each other. So for each other, with each other, you can say, and obviously a great support. I would say that's all. I mean, no more words can explain what I feel for him. Because of him, I am where I am. Because otherwise, after marriages, I've seen many pressures, many things that stops a woman entrepreneur from doing, but he never did that. He always pushed me. He still pushes me. After I lost my dad, he's the one after my with my sister who keep on pushing me to do things, sometimes to the level when I have to say, please stop asking me things. I will do it myself. But he's always there to push me to do things better. And he's now close by. He's just next lane to my office. So we meet often, we talk often, we discuss often at home, at the office, during lunch hours, and also things are good with him.
He
And
is a part of the business also, your
no, no,
NRES.
no,
No, he has own
no,
business.
he has
So
his own business.
what kind of
He has
business he
his own.
does?
He runs an automobile workshop.
Okay.
Again,
Very good.
started from scratch. He built it up himself,
Very
and
good.
today he has a workshop spanning 4,000 square feet and completely in-house. Everything is in-house, and he's developed himself well. And both of us have supported each other in the journeys. We have our own journeys, but we run together, we would say.
So on behalf of the whole audience and the Technobase, thanks to kudos to your husband Hemant Upreti, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
and
yes,
in-laws, his family, his parents as well. Yeah, I
yes,
think
yes, yes.
they played a big role. What I understand from your conversation is that they played a big role in your growth. That's why
Absolutely.
you can manage the things like this. Yeah,
Yes, and I do
fantastic.
get asked this question often, like, how do you manage in 24 hours? But that's how I am. I mean, I
Yeah,
am good at multitasking, but I need my life also. So I have a
right.
good social life, which you might have noticed that point that I have a very good social life, which I like to, because that's something which gives me a good change from my daily running life of business and home and everything. But yes, I do manage everything in that 24 hours that I have.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, as I mentioned in the beginning, that we have very few women leaders in the rubber industry. Of course, there are many men there. Who you look up to in rubber industry, that hey, this is my role model, or there's something I really like to duplicate myself, or kind may not be duplicate, get influenced by them. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
yes.
So as I said, when I was young, we were always talking business. And the one name that always came into our conversation was Mrs. Meera Sampath, mother of late Anil Sampath. And
Yes.
she always was in the conversations at home, us also being, long distance family relatives. And I always thought, why, I mean, so much is being spoken about her. And then when I started moving into the industry, knowing more about her, and then I realized what a woman she was. I mean, how she came up with all the adversities, how she built herself and her company and taking care of the kids, training them to be what they are. She is one of the biggest inspirations that I have in my life today. The second one being Mrs. Pilu Aga. Yes, this is one person I would like to duplicate. Yes, exactly the word that you are looking for.
Yeah.
She is great. She is great at handling things. She's great at, she's a people's person, I would say. She has simultaneously handled things at All India Rubber, at ACMA. She had a great role to play. So that's one person I look up to always and duplicate what she did. Then my peers like Preeti, Prajakta, they're all my peers whom I really, admire what they are in their own role. And even Mrs. Meera Sampath's granddaughter Mihika, they are all great people. They have built themselves, they have carried their second and third generation entrepreneurship to a great heights. So I really believe that they are, I, I would rather duplicate Mrs. Piluaga, but then they are all inspiration for me in their own right. So Preeti has been a good friend, very good friend. We got along well during our association days. We still remain good friends, though not in touch every day, but we are still there for each other. We have each other's backs. So these are few women whom I have come across in the industry. There are many more, but these are the people whom I really admire. As today, what I am today, there is some aspect of their inspiration always in my life.
So I'm hoping to invite them in my future episodes of this
I am
series.
looking forward. I am very much looking forward to, seeing them here on the screen.
Super, super. So I have one point to ask, what kind of qualities you should instill in women to be the leader in, particularly in women's? What kind of qualities, character that they need to build up to become the entrepreneurs or to become the
They
leaders of
need
the
the first and the foremost quality is they need to multitask. It is never easy for a woman to just think about one thing and not or ignore others. So multitasking is something very, very important for a woman entrepreneur, and how to carry about everybody together. We can always learn things when we are on our journey, but how to carry about everybody together and move ahead is very, very important. That was something my father taught me very, very young, that you need to carry them with you. Otherwise, when you reach the top, you'll be all alone and you'll see them down. But when you come down, they won't be there waiting for you. So you have to carry people with you, let them also grow with you. And this is one thing I really believe in. And multitasking, anyways, a woman can multitask better, but this is like a roller coaster ride for us, where we have to think a lot of other things also than our average male entrepreneur would have to. So these are two things that you need to learn to be a good woman entrepreneur.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to the NRE again, because
Yes,
that's your life, I could say. Yeah, of course, along with the
absolutely.
family. Yeah, and So what are things in your bucket list for the next 10 years, to do? I'm trying to ask you, what's your vision for the NRE?
The vision is to basically our vision for NRE. My vision for NRE is to grow at
Yep.
any cost. Because yes, sometimes when I look back, the legacy is very great for me, but I would want to grow much at a higher speed, I would say. So keeping my legacy intact, where I do things as per my father's wish, the way he did things, but then have my own ideas. And my idea is to grow at least 4 times in next 10 years from where I am today. 4 to 5 times growth is what I am looking at. And grow across the industry, because right now we are majorly focused on industrial and automotive aftermarket. Automotive OEMs is something that I'm looking at very deeply, and I didn't want to jump into OEM business, which maybe I can get quite easily looking at our experience and the products that we do. But then I don't want to be stuck with saying that no, now you can't get any more business because you are not certified. So we started the process of certification much before jumping into it, because I want to go with the proper certification where people will be sure that okay, because you are IATF certified, you will definitely get a better chance than somebody who is not. So growth is something, my simple one, only one vision that I have is growth. A lot of other ideas are there, but growth is something that I'm looking for. And
Yeah, go on.
and growth is only turnover wise as on today. Profits are always there and they will always remain. But turnover wise is something that the only target that I have for next, maybe a smaller one, 5 years right now. But yes, 10 over the period of 10 years, it will be much more. I want to shift to a bigger place, because when I'll grow, I want to grow properly, not just haphazardly. So maybe looking at a bigger place, maybe installing more automatic machines and bring it to a level where in next 5 years, all my machines will be automatic. So
This
when anybody comes to visit me, they shouldn't say that no, you are not equipped.
So growth is the only thing forward walking. Yeah, that's
Yes,
only thing
absolutely.
forward. Yeah, yeah. And
Yes.
I want to touch on issues about lots are happening in the automotive industry in terms of disruptions and the way people are mobility is being changed a lot. Okay, and what kind of things that you see disruption in this line of business, particularly your line of business?
So I feel that what I've been studying for some time now, OEMs are directly not buying products directly, rubber products, is what I found. That OEMs are now relying on the tier one, tier two suppliers to supply them fully made assemblies. So even if I'm looking for a tier one or tier two, I will have to be satisfied with them. I might not get directly into OEMs, or I might get into OEMs, maybe smaller ones. Like
Hmm.
say electric scooters are coming out very fast. There are many companies that have just sprouted up. So obviously I'll be studying whom I will be investing my time and energy on. But I think bigger OEMs are not looking at buying directly, because this is something like a disruption that has already been caused, and now they are relying more on their tier one, tier two suppliers to supply a complete package to them rather than their individual product, and they do the assembly and everything. So that disruptions are there, but ultimately it won't affect the supply chain, because even if I am not supplying to OEMs, I am supplying to somebody who will in turn supply to OEMs. So that disruption I feel was there, but then supply chain won't be affected is what I feel. And now the industry seems to be picking up with the chips being available. The waiting times of waiting times of the delivery of the vehicles has gone down. Many new companies are coming up, especially with hybrid and EVs. We have to look into, what kind of rubber products will still work in hydrogen fueled vehicles and electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. So I've started studying to that particular concern is there, that what kind of products won't work anymore, or what kind of new products will be needed to put into the market. We are working on it, but I don't think there is place for everybody is what I feel. there's place for everybody.
Okay. And so you're seeing observation. So how do you keep yourself updated? The things changing. Or do you join the conferences, reads stuff? What kind of things you do?
I read a lot of things. I keep on reading a lot. I LinkedIn is my go-to place as of now for last 2 years to keep myself updated as to what is happening. Then talking to people, somebody who is already into the industry, talking to them and understanding how things are going. Talking to my would say people who are in the same industry, my competitors or even my friends. It gives me a lot of a good outlook as to what is going on. So, but LinkedIn is my go-to place right now where I see a lot of things happening.
Yeah, the LinkedIn definitely gives a good source of information. Things change.
Because it is directly from the source. It is not something via. I mean, yes, forwards are always there, but then the type of people that you follow, that makes a lot of difference. The source is very important.
True. And also, we need to be actively involved with associations or institutes, working closely with, I think that's also, I think you're an active member of AIRA. That's a prestigious.
I'm an active member, yes, not as active as I was working into it, but yes, I am in touch with people, and All India Rubber Industries Association, other than that, Indian Rubber Industry Mumbai branch has been doing great work in COVID. They did a lot of good series of online technical sessions. Even now, they did a lot of good series on weekend questions or asking for experts throughout the week. Gives a lot of insight, and they are always ready to help. That is more important, because we just say WhatsApp is time pass. No, it is not. When you are part of groups where you learn so much, then you just need to absorb like a sponge. You need to be like a sponge who will just absorb whatever is coming through.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think
IRI plays one of the prestigious technical organization, lots of technical people in there. And I do think I just want to give here, I encourage everybody join this IRI, participate in their activities, whichever the chapter they are in, or whichever region they are in,
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Yeah. And the Mumbai chapter is very active, definitely I would say.
Yes, very, very active. No, everybody, I would say, I mean, Dr. Samar, Dr. P.K. Mohammed, everybody, they are great people, it's very, and they are not kind of people, I mean, Samar sir called me when he saw this lectures, and he called me immediately, and it was a good surprise for me because till last year I was a student at the online course that I did with him. And it was a good surprise for him to call me, talk to me. So it gives a lot of boost, and good people that you meet through them.
Right. Okay, cool. I think we touched a lot of issues, Mansi. I think I'd like to continue the discussion. Probably, it's a time that we would say end the session now. Yeah, but it's a really pleasure to have you as a part of this program. And
thank you so much.
Before I end, session, I do request you to give one final message to the fellow women who like to be like you, who are in the industry, maybe looking for opportunities to grow, excel in their career. Kind of summarize as a suggestion. I think we talked a lot, many things, but it kind of gave me, summarized version of advice to them. Yeah, please.
Just one simple advice is believe in yourself. Trust yourself to do the best thing, and nobody can push you around.
That's it.
That's it.
Believe in yourself. That is a fantastic message. So women can do wonders. I think women, for me personally, in my office, I have more women than the guys. Okay.
Great.
And they're very efficient, empathetic, and I would say every industry should have more women or equal numbers. Okay, in any field they can, whether it's a technical, non-technical. No need to just stick to the administration role, but also into technical hard jobs as well. Yeah. So
absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Mansi, ma'am, it's a really pleasure to have you as a part of this women leadership in rubber industry. The journey. It's really the journey. Thanks for being part of this session today. I appreciate the time. Thank you.
I really thank you for considering me to start this, and I wish you all the best, because there are many women waiting to be heard. So I think you will find them sharing a lot with you, and I'll wish you all the best. And thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Your journey is amazing. It's definitely inspire many women who watch this session, or even the guys, like to be, you could be a person that you look up to.
Yes.
Mansi, once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, okay guys, that's a session with Mansi Udeshi Upreti. She's the managing director of the National Rubber Engineers. I'm hoping this conversation you find this interesting, informative, and inspiring as well. For me, definitely an inspiring and very informative. And a lot we learned from Mansi, her journey from about her father, other in-laws, her husband, her kid, and at the same time, the challenges she experienced and the milestones she achieved. And we wish her a great journey ahead. And as her mantra is a growth, that is the only thing she look up to: grow, grow, grow. Okay. And final message to all of you is that believe in yourself. That is a message she gave to everyone. So I'm hoping that this session is useful, and I thank you all for joining the session today. I'm going to see you in the next episode of this Women Leadership in Rubber Industry, the journey. Thank you very much. Thank you.